going on, guys? Welcome back to the tower. So before I start this video, I just wanted to tell you that I did make a progress update video with Crowbar Zero on his channel. Link is in the description if you want to go check that out. I'm not going to upload one on my channel because of that, but yeah, you should go check that out and sub to him while you're at it. So I'm just doing a module tier list. I haven't done one of these before. This is specific to the 23.7 update, which is the current update of the game. For like newer versions and older versions, it would definitely be probably different, but this is also just my opinion. So it's just what I think of the modules right now and like the state they're in. So starting off with Astral Deliverance, I think this is actually one of the better cannons. I'm putting an A tier. It's a really good damage boost for bullets. So I think it's really good for like just killing scatters. I think it's pretty good if you have like high bullet damage with that. It's really good for that because the scatters kind of break into like a lot of pieces, and you can get a lot of damage multiplier with it on them. Yeah, 80% extra damage every bounce that's a lot. So I mean, it can also just help you with kill like normal enemies as well. I don't think it's gonna help as much on bosses because of that. You're less likely to get more hits on bosses, and more damage on them with bullets. Next is Being Annihilator. I'm gonna give this a B tier. It is a lot of extra bullet damage overall, but endgame bullets just don't really do that much compared to like other stuff. Unfortunately, three of the four modules, the cannon modules, are for bullets pretty much. They only really impact bullets. Besides Astral Deliverance, and then of course Death Penalty is the one that doesn't do anything to bullets. But I mean, Astral Deliverance also is more crowd control, which is why I think it's at least the second best. But yeah, Being Annihilator. It is a lot of extra bullet damage. Death Penalty, I'm not actually going to give this an S, but I do think it goes higher than Astral Deliverance. I think this is the best cannon, probably, for tournaments right now. Some people have been doing some stuff with farming with it, but I haven't really explored that at all. Yeah, 15% chance to just kill any enemy is pretty nice. You can kill, it can be like scatters, bosses, yeah, any elite. It's just kind of like helps thin out the numbers of stuff that you have to deal with. And if like you're really endgame, bullets aren't really going to help that much, so this will actually help with your ultimate weapons, like help them deal with everything. So Havoc-Bringer, I think this is the worst cannon. This is probably one of the worst modules right now. The rent boost, the only thing it really does is give you the rent. It maxes your rent. A good like 20% chance to do that at Ancestral, but it's already really easy to max the rent. It's pretty fast, especially on like there's bosses and stuff that doesn't really take much knockback. It will max very fast. So it just doesn't really do that much. I think if it boosted like max rend or something with like damage meter, maybe it could actually be useful. But yeah, what it does is it doesn't really help that much in the current meta. Onto the armor modules. Anti-Cube Portal. I really like this module. I use this for tournaments. 25 damage boost, a damage multiplier is really nice. Just adding on to all the other multipliers you have in the game, it just increases your damage by a lot. Yeah, the more multipliers you have, the more damage you're just gonna deal. It's also pretty useful in farming. I don't actually use it for farming, but a lot of people do, and it just helps with like Orbless. Negative Mass Projector. This is probably the worst of the armor modules, but I think it's still a decent pick. All the armor modules are not that bad. It's actually probably the toughest category to pick, like which one's the best out of the four categories. I mean, even though it is the worst, it still has a lot of use in like when there's an orb or an armored BC. Either of those, you can get a lot of orb hits on enemies and slow them down a lot. Also, you can slow down a boss a lot or something, maybe elites, if you get a bunch of extra hits on them when they're like stunned or something. So it just kind of adds more to your crowd control. Wormhole is also really good. Wormhole Redirector, I'm probably going to put that on top of A. A lot of people use this in tournaments, I've seen, but I've not tried it. But it could be good. It's still a good pick. I use it for farming, though. I think it's really good with the perks. You can get really high regen with some perks in farming runs, which just allows it to go even further and let you survive even longer. But the only problem that really has is like for super endgame players, regen just doesn't scale as well as like damage or health, so it doesn't really help them at all. But for everyone else, it's pretty good. It's really good. It's useful in a lot of situations. Space Displacer is also getting an S with anti-cube. I think it's overall a little bit worse, but just because you need like inner landmine plus for it to truly shine and do what it does well. It's a lot of extra CC, and it can be a lot of extra damage with inner landmine plus, like I said. But it is really good for like knockback conditions. It can get a lot of stuns, especially if you have the landmine chance substat. You can get your mines back really fast with this. I used to use it, but yeah, overall it's a really nice pick. Onto the generators. I'm gonna put Singularity Harness probably between these two. It has a lot of uses, but unfortunately, it's not as good as it used to be. I think it's one thing that's really good for endgame farming. I think endgame farmers use that with instead of Galaxy Compressor, because it actually is more coins if you sync it with Golden Bot, and it also increases Golden Bot's range. But if you do run Flamebot in tournament with this, you do get the extra 2x damage, which will help you raise your ceiling a lot. And yeah, even if you don't, the extra range is pretty nice. So yeah, it's a solid A tier, I would say. Galaxy Compressor, this is probably the best module in the game right now. It just has so many good things going for it. It's really good for farming. It allows you to get permanent GT and permanent black hole really easily. It's extremely good in tournaments as well, especially since EHP is a thing as well. It just allows you to get your inner landmines back really fast, and it shoots so many more smart missiles. It's just very useful in every aspect of the game. I would definitely say it's the best module right now. Pulsar Harvester. Yeah, this is gonna go in the C. This is probably the worst generator. It just doesn't do that much. Like it could be good in theory. It just doesn't decrease the enemy stats that much. You could maybe make a case for it if you use like a lot of like CC with it, maybe a high range. You can maybe decrease it enough to make it have some use, but the chance of it happening is really low. It's like a 2.5% chance or something, or 2% per bullet to decrease the enemy's attack and health by 1 level, which is just not that much overall. So Black Hole Digester this actually got a buff recently, so I think it's not even in a bad spot at all. From my testing, I've seen that you don't actually need to get a free upgrade for it to work out with the boost. As long as you have free upgrades on for a category, even if every upgrade's max there, it will still give you the bonus. So yeah, it's a pretty nice boost to the coins to kill. You could probably run it instead of Singularity Harness for like the end of a farming run, like after you add orbs in. You probably max out your defense workshop. I think you can get to 100% free upgrades and just get a 10% boost. But yeah, that's like really end-game farming, so not really anyone's doing that except the top. Yeah, everyone else just wants to use Galaxy Compressor. So onto the core modules. On-Chip, I think this is the worst module in the game right now. It used to be not bad at all. It used to be like an A tier at least, back when modules came out before Dimension Core got buffed. But, I mean, bosses just aren't really the main problem anymore. And it didn't even fully work in tournaments anyway with the more bosses. Because it used to lock on to the next boss even if the previous one wasn't dead yet. So it wasn't fully consistent there. And then in farming, it just doesn't really do much. Doesn't really help in any way. It can actually be hurtful for your spotlight coins. But that's mostly up to RNG. That's not really guaranteed that's going to harm your farming. Harmony Conductor, I'm going to put this in the bottom of A. I was considering putting it in B, but I think it's good enough for an A tier. 30% chance for just any enemy to miss, and 15% for bosses. It's actually really nice. You don't get like the damage boost from like Dimension Core with it. That's the only problem. But yeah, you can tank a lot more hits, and the enemy's damage can be a lot higher before you die with it. So it's pretty useful, and it's really nice that you can turn off the poison swamp stun now. I used to not be able to do that. So it's actually pretty useful for farming. It's what I use for farming, so. Dimension Core? Yeah, this is going to be S. I'm going to probably put it above Anti-Cube Portal. Just because the damage boost is higher and it will stay on enemies like 100% of the time. At max, you can get it to around 28. And yeah, because anti-keep's just a lot more inconsistent. Yeah, once you get the multiplier on the enemy, whether it be a boss or an elite or just anything else, it's just gonna stay there the whole time. So yeah, like you're gonna get your max multiplier like pretty quickly on a boss, as long as you have decent like shock chance and chain lightning chance. So yeah, it's a really nice damage multiplier. It goes well with this, and then singularity harness if you would use it, but this is not as big of a boost. And then lastly, we have multiverse nexus. I'm gonna put this probably a high B. Um, yeah, this was also one that got buffed. Same with harmony conductor. Now, if you turn off certain ultimate weapons, it doesn't include their cooldowns, so you can actually get like permanent GT and permanent black hole in farms pretty easily with it. If you don't want to use Galaxy Impressor. Yeah, some people have been testing a build with like Black Hole Digester and Multiverse Nexus and farming instead of Galaxy Impressor because you can still get the 100% uptime while having your free upgrades on like the attack and the defense. So yeah, those could go really well together. Galaxy Impressor farming is probably easier, but I mean that can work still. I haven't tried it. It could be good. So yeah, that's what I have for the tier list. It'll probably change if there's any updates that change the modules at all in the future. That's just how the game works with balancing. So yeah, if you want, let me know your opinions in the comments. That's all I have for you. See ya.